The Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples, and there's a good reason for that. Only Sleep Number Smart Beds let you choose your ideal comfort and support on your side of the bed. Firmer or softer on either side. Sleep Number does that. Perhaps you want your side cooler, and your partner wants their side warmer. Sleep Number does that too. You choose what's right for you, making it the best bed for the both of you. The Sleep Number Smart Bed will even automatically respond and adjust to your movements to help you sleep comfortably all night long. Your smart bed will even learn how you sleep and provide you personalized insights to help you sleep even better. Why choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now, save 40% on the new Special Edition Smart Bed. Ends Monday. Shop a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is Real Talk, No Strings Attached. The podcast brought to you by the youth of Indianapolis, using this platform and their voice to touch on vital topics they believe impact their communities. Here's the Real Talk team for some real talk, no strings attached.
Are you ready? Because here we go.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Talk podcast.
Our two topics we got today are mental health and addiction.
Okay, so mental health and addiction. So I feel like mental health isn't talked enough in younger ages, like let's say 13 through 18. And it's really because I feel like certain people are not comfortable with talking
I feel like people might feel like they being judged or whatever just because what they got going through their head and everything.
Yeah. And I also feel like some people don't have someone to talk to. So that's why people hold it in a lot and, eventually go to other things like...
Eventually that pain, you start to get angry. And as you hold it in, the longer you hold it in, the more angry you become.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's where addiction comes in. And that's where starting to use, certain things. And, honestly, addiction is horrible for younger generations because you're just killing yourself. And
but sometimes younger kids, they ain't got that older role model in their life. Their family, they've been addicted for years. They've been addicted since they came out,
right?
So it makes it harder for them. So what's mental health mean to y'all? And when y'all hear the words mental health, what's that mean to y'all?
Well, honestly, I feel like mental health means what's going on throughout your feelings, how you're doing mentally, and just how to express your feelings and how you're feeling.
I feel like mental health is what's going on in your mind. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. The thoughts in the back of your head, right. What are they good thoughts, what are they bad thoughts, right. What are they just random thoughts. Mm-hmm. What about you, Rob?
I think mental health is how you feel on the inside. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts. Yep. Yeah.
Man, so how y'all doing on how's y'all mental, yo?
Well, honestly, I think I'm doing great. I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
Nah, mine's on and off. Sometimes I'll just be in my own little world. My mental health, it'll be cool, and then I'll just be sitting alone, and every bad thing I've done, it'll just come back to my mind. Yeah, I'll just keep calling myself a failure and everything like that.
It's understandable.
So it's just mine's mixed emotions, I guess. It'll 1 second I'll be chilling with everybody, I'll be happy and everything, and then I'll just be sitting by myself in my room or something, watching Instagram reels or TikTok or something. And I'll come across a video and every bad thing I've done just comes back to mind. Everybody calling me a failure, saying I ain't gonna be this, that. So it's just, I guess mine's just a mix.
Okay.
Yours is a mix. Mine is just it's just one. I really don't have emotions like that.
Yeah.
I always just think of the positive.
Okay, that's good. That's really good. Yeah. What about you, Rob?
How are you doing mentally, Rob?
I'm doing good.
That's great to hear.
That's good.
Sure.
What's one thing y'all's mental health has taught you? If there's one thing y'all have went through mentally or physically, what's it taught you?
So anything that goes on in your life, you just gotta keep going. Whatever it is, you gotta pick yourself back up, no matter what it is, because you gotta always think positive, and you always gotta say that you're strong, and you just gotta go through whatever you're going through and just keep going.
Yeah, bro. my mental, if it's one thing I've learned mentally and emotionally, you can't let your guard down with nobody, bro. It's got to stay up. You can never let your guard down, no matter who you around, whether you trust the person, whether you know the person. It's like they always gonna do something to hurt you. So you always got to have your guard up.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about how have mental health and addiction affected young people in my community.
Oh, that's a good one. So, addiction. I feel like addiction has affected like our community, as in us teenagers, because our parents. Like my mama, she been addicted my whole life. I'm 17. I'll be 18. Like there's not been one day where she ain't been addicted. So it's like, but she ain't really been around. So it's like that's not gonna drive me to addiction, because. Okay. It's gonna want me to do better. It's gonna show me like what not to do,
right? Yeah,
everything like that. So I feel like addiction, it happens to some of us because we either have that one person in our life or we don't.
Okay.
But for me, it was just not having her in my life show me what I did not want. Like I'm not gonna go out here do meth, heroin, Xanax, everything like this, and then get hooked. And it's just. Her not being there just showed me like what not to do in life.
Right. Okay. Show you an example.
Show me an example of what not to be.
Yep. Okay. And how about you, Gio?
Well, I always had an older model looking up to. Okay. It was my older brother, but he was always.
I feel that.
Yeah, I always looked up to him. The only reason I started, the first time I ever tried, it was really because of him. Looked up to him. I thought it was cool. Until you get to that state of mind, It's not cool. It's for bogus people.
And honestly, I think it's affected our young youth and community by like I see a lot of kids and youth trying out these drugs, and I've seen them overdosing, and I've seen it in schools, and honestly it's horrible. Like it affected our community in a very bad way because some youth doesn't like know what they're doing, doesn't know what they're taking, and it looks really bad on the youth, and they're just seeing a lot of social media and thinking it's cool and trying to be like somebody else.
Yeah, they trying to be a follower.
Right. So
yeah, like you don't want to be one of the people you see driving, like sitting on the side of the road as you driving down the road. I mean, you want to try to help those people, but you also don't want to become that person. If you get what I'm trying to say,
right?
Yeah, like, you don't want to be a follower. You want to be yourself.
Yeah, like that's one. Growing up, I would always do. I would do whatever I had to fit in, bro.
Yeah.
Like I could not make friends for nothing, so I had to act a different way. But growing older. Now that I'm 17, I realize at some point, I got to start being myself. If I'm not myself around my friends, are they really my friends? You feel me? Like, yeah. So sometimes you just got to do you and not do by anybody else besides yourself. And I think social media definitely has an impact on that. Yeah. Because everybody sees all this and that, so.
Instead of using it for the good, they use it for the bad.
Yeah. And you see all these people out here on social media, whether they living life, whether they getting in trouble, this and that. And it's like there's certain people on there where it's like, oh, that looks cool, I want to do that. Or he's cool, I think he's cool, I want to be like him. But nah, you got to be your own person in your own way. Everybody's their own person in their own way. What you think, Rob? Do you think social media has impacted addiction upon our youth?
Yeah, basically, yeah. People want to follow people, They see people get famous off of it. They just,
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you. So, do you think social media helps or harms youth mental health, and how?
Oh, that's a good one. I feel like social media definitely has a big impact on mental health. Like, I feel like it helps it, but it doesn't help. I feel like it helps because, you got them influencers and everything that, go on there, they talk about mental health, and you can you can DM them or, reach out to them, and some of them will respond and help you out.
Yeah.
But then you see, all them depressing videos and everything with, them sad quotes and everything like that, so that don't really help anybody. That, puts them back in their mind. And like social media, I feel like it also helps because it distracts you. Like it gives you a good distraction away from your health.
Yeah, I feel you. And I think social media is 50-50 with
The helping and the bad.
yeah, because influencers are like nowadays they have it's like sometimes influencers they show the good, but then they show real bad. And
I get what you're trying to say.
rappers like a lot of rappers show a lot of influence on the younger generation, and a lot of the rappers be showing guns, drugs, and this lifestyle that really not is.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all, and it's just like I feel like it helps sometimes. Their music is good, but what they're showing is not okay for the youth.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely has an impact because a bunch of young kids, like, what are they like? I feel like the range is like 10 up to 18. Like, I feel like kids our age, like, whether they preteens or teenagers, I feel like a bunch of young kids today see them videos of them rappers posting like them guns and like them drugs and everything, and they see that, they're like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's something I want to do. So then they build their life and revolve their life around that type of video or that type of music or something like that.
And what's funny is like not all of them come from the streets. They don't even they don't got that violence.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. So a lot of the rappers and influencers, they be faking for the fame
For the
and
clout.
For the clout.
Yeah.
They
So like
be-
me, I grew up listening to like rap music. Like I grew up listening to like Fetty Wap, everybody like that,
Yeah.
that type of music. So whenever I started writing music, it's like I had to try to find something else to write about because I'm not from the streets. I don't go out here gangbang, shoot, do drugs, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, sat down, thought in my mind. I just wrote from what I felt like inside.
And what you experienced.
Yeah, since I ain't really have this street experience like
Right.
all these other rappers, so it's like, and I'm not trying to be like one of them rappers that caps in his raps, like
Right.
just for the fame and the clout. Because to be honest, are you really doing what you love if you cap it?
No.
Never.
Right. So
Like you gotta stay true to yourself and stay true to who you are, or else like you ain't gonna get nowhere.
you gotta be you. Of
For
course,
sure.
you gotta be you.
For sure.
So how does peer pressure contribute to substance use or risky behavior among youth?
That's a good one.
Well, like in schools, you see these middle schoolers that they just be. Some of them are bad influence, but some of them are good. But the ones that are bad influence, they just go up to the random kids. Oh, you wanna try this,
Right.
and that. And peer pressure in middle school is something different.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna be like, oh, if I don't take this, I'm gonna be lame.
You're
No one
not
talk
gonna
to me
be
in
cool.
school.
Yeah, I feel you.
And that's a big thing, and especially when you get into higher grades like high school. When you get to
high school's the worst. High school's the
yeah.
worst.
there's so many people around you, and you're just so peer pressured.
You
into
just wanna
doing-
fit in so
doing
bad.
and doing
So it's
what
like-
the other person wants, and it's like
Especially if
it's
you,
hard.
Yeah, especially if you like new to that high school, you ain't got nobody there that you know.
Yeah.
Like good thing for me, like my middle school, whenever I graduated 8th grade and I started freshman year, I actually started with a bunch of people I went to middle school with. So that actually like kind of helped. Plus I was already on the football team at the high school, so like I had because over the summer I had kind of went to the practices, met the football players, so I kind of already knew people. So it was like peer pressure was there, but it wasn't at the same time. So I was just thinking like, man, what can I do to fit in? Like what can I do to just like help make friends type thing. But back to the middle school part, I definitely feel that because in middle school I was my own person, but I wasn't because I had them friends outside of school who they knew who I really was. They knew my everyday life,
Right.
and then I had them friends in school that I didn't want to lose. So it was just like I'll do whatever, like I'll act out, I'll throw this across the room, like this and that, just just to fit in and be somebody that I'm not.
Yeah.
Which definitely ain't good for your lifestyle.
Right. Mm-hmm. I also feel like it's a big thing with our youth, especially, just growing up and trying to see who you are and find out, more things about yourself, So you think you're this person, you think you're that, but you don't know yet, so you're just finding out, and that comes a lot with peer pressure. You know, people are gonna make you do things that you don't want to do. You know, like say someone tells you to go somewhere to this party, and you know something happens. You know, it's a lot with the peer pressure.
Yeah, you just want to fit in.
How you feel about that, Rob? How you feel like peer pressure affects young people in our generation?
It makes them, you know, not think about their future. They just think about what's going on in the generation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes them impulsive. That's also been a very big thing. I've always been impulsive, bro. Like, I've never thought before I acted.
Yeah.
And it's definitely got me in a lot of trouble growing up.
That's a big issue in the youth.
You don't think before you do something.
Yeah.
Growing up, it's like
You always got to think
I'll
twice.
just be like, hey, bro, look, I'm gonna throw this across the room. And then I'll just like throw it across the room without thinking about what the consequences are. And then the teacher will be like, who did that? I'll just have to sit there, you know, act like I'm working, doing this and that. It's like I've never thought before I acted. And my parents and grandparents, everybody always told me, think before you act. There are consequences. And I never listened to them.
Question is, have you ever been a peon?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Can you please
Express what that means.
express what that means?
Like a goofy, you know? Like you're a follower, like you'll do something for somebody, a send off, you know?
Okay,
All right.
I understand now.
I would definitely say I have, definitely, especially growing up, because like I said, growing up, I always did whatever I had to fit in. So it was like growing up, if I had a friend that, you know, I didn't want to lose and they wanted me to do something, I would do it. Like, he would be like, come do this with me. I'd be like, all right, bet. Like, I would just do whatever I had to.
I think I've been a follower just by trying to, you know, rock with someone who I know isn't good for me, and I just keep on, you know, being cool with them, being friends with them, but I know they don't have really good intentions.
Right.
I feel that.
I've probably been a victim of that too. Like I said, I had an older brother growing up. He used to be my role model, but once he hit like 18, he started, you know, smoking, having weapons. And I thought that was cool, you know.
Yeah, because he was your role model. You
he
looked
was
up
my
to
role
him your whole
model.
life.
Yeah, so I simply thought that was cool. I was like, I'm gonna just be like him. For me, I started getting guns. I started getting vapes, everything, smoking products regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I definitely feel that. Because my brother definitely somebody I look up to.
Yeah.
He definitely somebody I look up to. What about you, Rob? Your own question.
I wouldn't say no peon, but like I was a send off. Like I did goofy, you know, decisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just made bad decisions.
Yeah. I used to try to, you know.
Were they impulsive decisions you weren't thinking before you were like doing?
Nah, I thought about it, but I was just young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
thinking.
young, dumb.
Yeah.
We all got to that point at some point. Do y'all think being a peon or following somebody, do y'all think that has a good or a bad impact on your mental health?
Kind of. I say kind of, not too much though. Because in your mental health it's like your emotions you're expressing. But say you're following someone, trying to be a follower, that's different. You can back out of that instead of just following them.
I definitely feel like there's good and bad parts to both. Because the bad parts, you're doing this thing with that person, you're following them, y'all end up getting in trouble, you get sent to your room, or even worse, you get in trouble with the police, get locked up.
Yeah.
And then being locked up, that definitely has an effect on your mental health, no matter how long you locked up.
Right. Some things with, being locked up with someone else, getting in trouble with someone else is you never know their real intentions and how they really are, and you don't know if they're, actually gonna go through with this whole.
Yeah, you never know if they're gonna pin it back on you,
Right.
or say that this was your idea or something.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So
And that goes back to you saying that you didn't have a lot of, you gotta, keep your guard up with people.
yeah, you definitely have to. But yeah, it's definitely got some good and bad ways on your mental. you don't want to like do something with somebody, you know, get in trouble, then, you know, get your stuff taken or anything, you know, you gotta go sit in your room and with nothing to do, you just staring at walls. It's like being locked up without being locked up.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like, honestly, it's horrible. Like, it's horrible for your mental health being a follower and being a peon because it's someone you don't want to be. And honestly, I think you should just be yourself, you know. Being yourself is the best thing you can do, and you know you're authentic. You should be yourself. You're one out of a billion, so I don't think you should be anybody else.
I definitely feel like you might get somewhere doing that, but you might not. I feel like in order to actually get somewhere in life, you got to be your own person and be true to yourself. Stay true to who you are. Like, know your intentions, know how you live. Don't live like nobody else, bro. Like, it's not good. Mm-hmm. I should know. I've tried it, and it wasn't good.
We should quote that. Don't live like nobody else.
Don't live like nobody else.
Mm-hmm. And going back to mental health, with, you know, this whole following stuff is horrible. And like I said, I feel like more kids should be more vulnerable and more, you know, advocating for themselves about their mental health from these people that they're trying to follow. And, you know, like I said, it goes back to someone trying to find who they are and, you know, trying to find out.
Yeah, I feel like society definitely has a big impact on that too. Like, I feel like society is definitely one of the reasons why kids can't talk about their mental health, because you know, you have them older people who are just like the bullies. Like, you talk about your mental health and it's like
they start laughing,
or they just like act like they don't care. So society, like growing up society, definitely has a big impact on it too, because, you know, me, whenever I talk about my mental health, I rarely talk about it because, you know, I'm talking to somebody,
right?
And I just feel like I'm throwing all my problems at them, knowing they have their own problems that they got to deal with.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I'm being like a burden, or like they just don't care or something. So society definitely has a big impact. I feel like we should like try to make it easier for people our age or the youth,
and, you know,
like what are some ways y'all think it would make it easier for us to talk about our mental health?
Well, let's hold on that real fast. And that was going back to addiction. Like, the reason why so many addiction happens is because so many people can't really talk about,
like, they can't express their
feelings, right? And it just, you hold it in so much and you just feel like blowing up, but they go to start doing like drugs or, you know, things that are not good, alcohol, and it's horrible. Honestly, it's horrible.
Yeah, bro. I feel like another, for going back to addiction, a lot of people get hooked on that because they find it easier to cope with their mental health.
Yeah, they think
whether it's drinking, smoking, doing, like, shooting up, no matter what they're doing, they found a way to cope with it, and that's what they do.
Yeah, and it's just in a bad way.
Which leads them to addiction, and it's not good. You got to find better ways, healthier ways to deal with your mental health. So, like, let's see, you could always write. Like, I started writing music because of my mental health. Like, I started writing music so that way I had a way to express my mental health, whether it was sad, happy, depressed, no matter what it was. Like, you could always write. It
just helped you, like, express your feelings throughout, like, your music, because you know, you have your love for music, and
exactly,
you know, it helped you. I also think, you know, exercising, doing things you like, playing sports will help you with your mental health rather than going to a substance that's not good for you.
Yeah, like going back to that sports part, I played football for like 2 months freshman year, and it definitely helped with my mental health. Because I am an angry person. Like, my mind's so messed up, so it's all angry. So it's like, that was a way for me to take out my anger, because I could hit people and not get in trouble. Like, I could literally hit people and tackle them, whether it was pads, whether it was no pads. I had a way to take my anger out, which then helped with my mental health. So it's like, after I got kicked off the football team, it was like I've been trying to find a football team to play on ever since then, because it was one of the ways I dealt with my mental health.
Yeah, sports do help a lot. You like have time to take off everything off your mind, just focus on the sports, and sports really it'll help you overall.
Yeah, sports, they can really help, you know, to get your mind off everything that you do.
Right.
Outside of, you know, sports, you know, they can change your perspective, you know, how you think.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, sports can help for sure.
And do you think there's any other ways of coping mechanisms that are like easier than going to a substance or getting addicted to something?
Yeah, you know, you could go outside, look at nature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's a good one. That's a good
That's a
one.
great one.
Look, once I get a car, bro, I've always told myself once I get a car, my grandma, she live out in the country area. So I always told myself once I get a car, and if I ever go down to her house, I'ma stay a night, and then like pitch black outside, I'ma hop in the car, roll down the windows, turn some music on, and just drive on the country roads, because it's like all cornfields, pitch black outside, nobody's on the roads. You feel the fresh breeze. It's just a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's definitely one of the ways I would cope with my mental health as I got older. Is going on them late night drives. Me, I just love being in the car. Like, I love taking road trips, whether it's an hour away, whether it's 5, 6, whether it's like, I ain't never been out the country, but whether it's out the country or whatever, I just love being in a car, taking like a road trip or just like a drive somewhere. It's just whether I gotta have at least one other person in the car with me though.
Oh yeah, 'cause
Have
that's
some
gonna
company.
be boring.
Yeah, have somebody to either talk to or vibe with, because it's different, you know. Like, it's different than sitting in your room or sitting at a friend's house. It's just it's that vibe, and just being behind the wheel of a car, knowing you have control.
Yeah. So what was it like some advice y'all would give to some youth about, you know, them getting peer pressured on certain things that they don't want to do?
I would say, because I didn't really have, like, nobody would really ever give me advice growing up about peer pressure. Like, growing up, I didn't really know about peer pressure till I got maybe middle school.
Okay.
So I'd probably tell people, like, don't do something you're not comfortable with doing. Like, if your friend asks you, I started vaping in 8th grade. I quit now, bro. The first time I hit a vape, I was 13. And it was like, say I'm talking to somebody that age, or I'm talking to my younger self, I'll be like, if you don't feel comfortable doing it and they ask you to do it, don't do it. It's not good for you. Like,
For sure.
Plain and simple, no.
like,
No.
And I feel like a lot of people have a big problem with a lot of our youth is they are scared to say no. They are scared to stand up for themselves.
And that's where peer pressure comes again.
Yeah, bro. And I feel like the biggest thing about peer pressure is bullying.
Bullies.
Bullies. Hate them.
Always
Dude.
messing with people because they get, you know, messed with
Yeah.
at the house.
But that's a big thing. Some bullies they're so affected from their mental health that they think it's okay to just bully, you know, other people because they're so hurt and they have things going on. And then, you know, that goes back to people not having anyone to talk to. You know, they have it all built in, and they just go to somebody and they just mess with them because.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, because I'm not gonna lie, I used to be one of them people, bro.
And I think that's like a coping mechanism or something.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be one of them people that, you know, I had stuff going on in my head, or I had stuff going on at home, and I was just trying to find a way to get rid of it. So I'd find somebody like younger than me or different from me, and I'd start laughing at them or making fun of them or this and that. Even though people did it to me, I did it back to other people just because, you know, it was my way of not focusing on what's in my head or what's going on around me.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, you just gotta think about the karma, you know. You gotta just do things, and some things ain't gonna come back to you, but you just gotta keep moving solid, you know.
Yeah, I understand. I feel like some advice I can give to the younger generation is don't do it. Just please, just say no.
Yeah, say
walk
no.
away.
Say
If they
no.
make you do anything, walk away.
Just run.
If you're scared, just say you're scared.
Exactly. Like,
Just
don't.
run.
Simple.
Another big problem with everybody in our generation is they're scared of what people think of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a
They're
big problem.
scared of
Judgment.
bro. I'm telling you, like, that was like the worst thing growing up, is worrying about what somebody else thinks. Whether they think I'm cool, whether they think I'm like a bad boy, whether they think I'm this or that. Going back to mental health, I feel like a lot of people die because of it too. Like, suicide is a big thing.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
and
horrible.
like there's signs that you can tell when somebody is doing bad with their mental health or addiction or just trying to kill themselves or whatever. Like if somebody, like I've experienced, like people start to become distant with themselves. Like they stop posting on their social medias, they stop calling, they stop texting, they just distance themselves from whether it's the outside world, whether it's from their family. They also like start to give their stuff away.
Oh,
Like I feel like those are the most two common signs of mental health and suicide and everything like that, is they start to get their stuff away and they start becoming real distant with everybody. What y'all think?
I think that suicide has been going up, throughout the years, and it shows. There's a lot of signs that you see from suicide. Some people might start cutting themselves. Some people might do it in areas that people can't see because they're so ashamed of it. But it's horrible. You wouldn't really be able to tell. Sometimes you can see it from somebody's face, like how their appearance is, that they're doing horrible, and they don't know how to talk to. They're just holding it in.
They also start to lose a lot of sleep. Like you can tell when somebody's real tired.
And then they don't
Like the
eat.
bags under their eyes.
Oh
like,
yeah, their eye bags it starts to become like more darker over time.
The more sleep they lose, the darker their eyes become. And going back to the thing where Ant said they don't eat, like they will force themselves to starve, and then when they finally do eat, they can't eat no more. They'll blow it all up.
And if they eat, they eat a little bite and they're full because their stomach hurts and it's messed up.
Yeah, we definitely gotta figure out ways where people our age can feel comfortable enough talking about their mental health, about addiction, like about just them struggling, like whether it's with their life, whether it's, like I said, with mental health. We gotta find ways.
Yeah, because I think there's some kids that, some youth that can't even talk to their parents about this stuff. Some people don't have the certain, connection with their parents to just be like, hey, I have these problems, and they're like, you're little, you don't have problems. They think of us like we don't kind of matter, but
Yeah, they don't think about the little stuff. If y'all had a message you could tell anybody about, like opening up, like about their mental health or about addiction, what is one message y'all would send?
Please advocate for yourself when something's not going great for you. You could talk to anybody from, a friend to
School teachers,
someone that you think that cares, and that will definitely help you. Just please don't hide it, and tell them about
Stand up for yourself.
Tell them about your emotions, what's going on. If you speak about it, that just speaking about it, letting it out is gonna help you.
Yeah, I feel that's a good one. What you think, Rob? If you had a message you could send to somebody struggling with mental health and addiction, what would you say to them?
Just tell whoever you feel closest with, and saying don't keep it in, don't build it up, So it just like burst out, and you just have a mental attack or something. And just try to think about joyful things and try to turn around and like just think better about things. Yeah,
I would definitely say find stuff to distract your mind. And I'm not meaning like drugs or guns or anything like that. I mean find stuff you like to do. Find good ways to distract yourself from those thoughts, whether it's like we said, playing sports, whether it's writing music, playing a video game.
And you can find yourself a partner for
you can it's just like go hang out with friends, like
a partner.
That usually helps me. But nah, I think that concludes our discussion today.
Yeah,
I think that wraps everything up. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode
of Real Talk.
Yeah.
This is Real Talk. No strings attached. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast. And be sure to check out other great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.